Welcome to Daily Zohar. We are dedicating this shiur to the refuah shlema, speedy recovery of Yitzchak Kadesh ben Devorah, and everybody else who is sick who needs it, speedy recovery. We also dedicate it to the parnasah, wealth, abundance, success of all those who support us and help us, ba'asher em, wherever they are, wherever they are, and especially the guys in Yeshiva, the Bachurim in Yeshiva. I would like to take special thanks to Ilan ben Etzion, Yonatan ben Rachamim, and Fegel Sarah bat Reuven Lev. They should have wealthy parnasah, a lot of parnasah, and they should continue doing wonderful things and helping Torah wherever they can. Chachamim used to walk in the street, walking by, and they met a person. He was coming. In his hand, he was holding 3 branches of myrtle, of hadas. His customary here in America is a little, well, at least here in North America, is a little hard to grow myrtle. But in Israel, they do. Many shuls, many synagogues have on the courtyard, they have myrtle. And they use it for Havdalah, they use it for other things. My neighbor used to have bushes of myrtle that he used to clip all the time to give him, to induce growth. It will be, triple. In other words, on every stem, there were 3 leaves growing on the same spot. So it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And the tradition is to take those myrtle branches, according to the Ari, that's a Kabbalistic minhag. When the husband or the head of the house comes from shul on Friday night, he sings the Shalom Aleichem, he comes to the table, to the place that he sits, he holds the myrtle branches in his hand, and he walks around the table 3 times. Then he comes to the place that he sits, and I'm about to sneeze. Thank you. And he comes to the place that he sneezes. No, he comes to the place that he sits, and he stands in the place without a word. He sings the Shalom Aleichem. He sings the Eshet Chayil, woman of valor, dedicated to the Shabbat and dedicated to his wife. Whether he has a wife, it's for her. If he doesn't, it's only for Shabbat. It's feed your wife. And then he says, Atkinu Sudata, the Mehemenotah. He calls upon the meal. He dedicates this meal to different attributes, as we said earlier. We said one time, on Friday night, it's going to be for Chakal Tapuchin Kadishim, for the Holy Orchard. On Shabbat morning, it's for Atika Kadisha, for the ancient one, and Seudah Shlishit is for Ze'er Anpin. He dedicates this meal for them. He takes the kiddush in his hand, and the myrtle leaf stays there all the time. That's based on a story that happened in the Gemara when Rabbi Shimon and his son came out of the cave. They saw, a man running, and at the beginning, after they were in the cave, because they were persecuted they were chased after, they were wanted by the Romans for 12 years. So the first day, all they did was learning Torah. They learned Torah. They used to dig a pit in the ground, and they covered their bodies all the way up to here, because they didn't have clothes. And they learned Torah covered, and on Shabbat they will come out, and they will put their clothes. For 12 years they did it like this. HaKadosh Baruch Hu made a miracle, of course, where there was water at the entrance of the cave, and a carob tree grew there, so they have water, and they ate carobs for 12 years. It's kind of harsh, but hey, you're on a run. And when they came out from being so holy everywhere they look, turn into fire. So the heavenly voice came and says, hey guys, one more year inside, you gotta gentify yourself. You have to become more gentile. So they came out and they saw a Jew running with 2 branches of myrtle. Says, why are you running? He says, Shabbat. Why are you running with this thing? To say, Zachor, Shamor veZachor. Say, oh, Hashem, Israel. And then, so this is a similar story to the story that happened in the Gemara. So Chachamim were walking by. Walk on by. Right, they were walking by. They saw a man. He came, and he had 3 branches of myrtle in his hand. He came close to him, and he says, why do you need this? Why are you walking with 3 branches of myrtle in your hand? He says, in order to give harvacha el ha'ovedet. Harvacha is to give nourishment to the lost one. Nourishment to the lost one. What are we talking about here? Amar Rabbi Elazar, the son of Rabbi Shimon, says, Yefei amarta, doing good. Aval shlosha lama lach. Okay, why 3? Amar lo, he said, Echad leAvraham, Echad leYitzchak, Echad leYaakov. 1 against every of the patriarchs, Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. V'kasharti otam yachad, and I bound them together. V'herachti bahem, and I smelled them. Mishum shekatuv, because it says in Shir HaShirim, one of my favorite parts, L'reach shemanaich tovim shemen turak shemech. It's in Shir HaShirim, in the first chapter of Shir HaShirim. It's a praise for the fragrance of the oils, the essential oil that you used to put on yourself. So is Knesset Israel. Has a fragrant oil when it comes to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. It smells good. Not only are you happy to see her, smells good. And it says, Ki bareach hazeh mitkayemet chulshat hanefesh. With that smell that revives the weak soul. Umitkayemet be'emunah zot, and sustains itself with this belief, with this emunah. And by doing so, nimshachot brachot mimala umimata. And by doing so, we're drawing the brachot both from down here and from above. Amar Rabbi Elazar. Rabbi Elazar therefore said, Ashrei chelkam shel Israel. Lucky are those Am Israel. Ba'olam hazeh, in this world, uva'olam haba, and in that world. Come and see. Ein ha'olam mitkayem ela al hareach. The whole reason for the existence of this world is because of the fragrance. And again, it's not Fabergé or Chanel 5 or whatever it is that you're doing there. And he says, Umereach zeh, and because of that smell, noda reach acher. We came to learn about another fragrance. Ki b'sha'a sheyotzet Shabbat. When Shabbat leaves, and the bundle is untied, everything comes together on Shabbat, then we put it all apart. Ve'anefesh hayetera mistaleket. And this extra soul, every Jew gets on Shabbat an additional portion of an extra soul. Because our soul is here, but we need a boost for spirituality to be able to elevate. And every Jew gets it whether it's Shomer Shabbat or not. It gets 1/60th of a new soul in you. That's why on Shabbat you feel good. And in Motzei Shabbat, when Shabbat ends, I know many secular Jews that it just doesn't happen for them on Motzei Shabbat. Shabbat ends, they feel a little down. And the reason is because your soul, that extra soul, leaves you. And when it leaves you, and it's not because you have to go to work on Sunday, or that's the end of the weekend, because that's why a lot of people go out partying Saturday night, because of that loss that they feel, the grief that they feel, that the soul have departed them, so they need to do something more. So they go out drinking, and they're basically spiritually medicating themselves to grieve for the lost soul in which they had experienced. But there's no need to go that far. So when the extra soul goes away, v'nisharim hanefesh ve'aruach shel ha'adam, and therefore the nefesh, the different parts of your soul, are not connected. Shabbat comes and puts you together spiritually. Meforarim ve'atzuvim, they are crumbled and they're sad. Bahareach, as it comes that smell that we make in Havdalah, right? Umitkarvim ze el ze, and it brings them together. Good smell is something good. Yeah? You always go like this, maybe because it makes you take a deeper breath. I don't really know what it does to you. What's exactly it associates up there in the brain, the chain reaction of the mental process that we go through. But spiritually, it revives your spirit together. Spiritually, it puts you together better. And ועל כן, therefore, צריך הרוח אחר הרוח, לקבל את הריח. You need to have the smell, the fragrance put together for the spirit to be revived. כיוון שמתקבל הריח, since that smell, the fragrance has been accepted, מתקרבים כאחד, they become joining together, because you see, joy, simcha, helps people come together. Take it off. By the way, for all you know, Sam was just Sam. Joy puts people together. Sadness breaks the packages. Sadness breaks the packages. Usually houses that fall apart is because there's no joy in it. And joy doesn't mean that they're going to Disney World every day. Joy is just like happy to see the other person. Doing things together. Going shopping together should be a joy. All these things. So there's no joy, house falls apart. Right? And everything like this. When you're not happy to come to shul, means it's something, either you're going to depart or something is wrong happening in the shul. And it's everything like this. You're not happy to come home. There's no joy in being home. Well, the question is, what exactly went wrong today? You're not happy to come home. What's wrong with this? Not happy to go to work. You have to be a joy, simcha. So the kiruv, is coming together, should by itself bring simcha. And so on the same principle, is the reach, the fragrance of the korban. We say reach nichoach, not only that it's reach, that it smells. Nichoach means it's a pleasant smell, pleasant fragrance. Reach nichoach ishe leHashem. So therefore the korban is the same thing. Shebakorban mitkarvim hakol yachad. Everything comes together. When a person brings a korban, a person did an avera. He violated a biblical commandment. That violation of a commandment represents by no other than a gap between you and God. A person sinned, so there is a gap. The korban puts you together. People think that atoning from the sin means, okay, you know what, I'll talk to him and he'll give you it's a plea bargaining. No. That's why when let's say two people were angry at each other, well, they were fighting. And I would come, let's say for example, David and Sam were arguing, right? Now I would come, I can speak on behalf of David, right? And say, Sam, listen, he didn't mean it, and so on and so forth. He would say, fine, but ultimately they have to come together. The fact that you're going to talk to someone doesn't mean anything if they would not come together. So therefore, what's better, if this is the whole thing, what's better, like, listen, I can come and talk to him, say, listen guys, you got to come together. That way we don't need a messenger for that. We have the Torah that tells us, don't hate your brother. You should love your fellow Jew. And so on and so forth. And you should know all these things. Therefore, it's already said. Why need it to be said again? The korban is a way that smell that the person of the korban that the person brought is what puts everything is a joy. It says, I'm coming back together. It's like your lost son that came, you had a fight, he left home. Where you weren't wise enough to hold your son, to embrace him while you had him. And now he's gone. That telephone call, hey Pops, can I come back home? I miss you. That's the korban. That's the sacrifice that we bring. Say, Hashem, we want to come back home. We want to come home. Can I come home? That first time that your son will say to you, Daddy, I missed you. I want to come home. It is the part that will not just give you joy, that will bring you to tears. That is the korban. Kadosh Baruch Hu says, listen, my sons, why are you going? Why? Well, we had a fight. Okay, fine. But now you realize that you were wrong. You realize that you love your father and your father really likes you, just didn't know how to express yourself. And now you want to come home to Daddy. That is the korban. Say, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, I want to come home to you. HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, fine, not a problem. That telephone call, that you call your daddy, okay, when he sees you, he gives you a big hug. But the telephone call is the korban. That's this feeling of, you feel this desire to come together. That desire is what started the whole process, the tshuva. You have an answer, tshuva, for what you have done. I know why I did this. I wasn't thinking, That's korban. So with the joy of the korban, the smell of the korban together, that brings us together to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, closer to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. I'm making tshuva. I want to reconnect. And Avera is a disconnect. And only you could connect yourself with what you are lost. I cannot connect to you. It's not a nerve gas that, I haven't done anything to Sam. So there's no separation between me and him. There's no way for me to connect. If they have a separation, they have to connect each other. So this is the issue of the korban, and by doing so, this kirva, this closeness, this is a metaphor. Mitlaatim hanerot. There are two candles up in Shamayim. Again, candles, spirit, neshama. The same thing. Two candles are lit up in Shamayim. Usmechim, and there is great simcha, great joy. Come and see. Shnei nerot, echad lemala ve'echad lemata. Two candles. We need to connect them. One up here and one there and one up here. One connected to each other. If a person lights the candle that is here, down here, Hashanahu, that smoke, goes to that candle that is up there and lights it. It's amazing, you could reignite a candle. You know how to do it?
Blow down, like the flame jumps down on the smoke.
That's right. And go back again. Don't try it at home. Smitty will show you later, right? And this is the metaphor of the korban. We lit the candle down here. The smell with the smoke of the korban. That's why it goes straight up. It was one of the miracles that happened in Beit HaMikdash. The smoke of the korbanot was never moved by a wind. It was always erected straight up. Why? Because it needs to be aligned with that spiritual candle that we have up there. So that goes physical here and turns into spiritual in Olam Haba. And by doing so, Shanoleh and Madlik Nerot HaElyonim v'nidlakim beyachad. It lights all the candles from above, that are above, and everything shines together, both here and there. ומתקרבים כולם יחד בריח הזה. And this is all come closer because of what? Good morning. This is all together. Why? Because of the korban that we actually brought here. And the korban is the closeness. Again, korban milshon karov. Sacrifice, it's not. It's to be close. The whole concept of bringing a sacrifice, a korban, is because you want to feel close. And that's why they say, Ishe reach nichoach leHashem. Okay? No, it can't be. So, and therefore they say, Ve'al ken, and because of that, reach hakorban hu kiyum hakol ve'kiyum ha'olam. The korban itself is what gets this world going on. That's how the world is being maintained and existed. והקורבן על ידי הכהן המקריב הכל. And the Kohen is the one who actually brings the korban. So therefore, when you want to feel closeness to Hashem, and you want to make tshuva, that thing makes you want to do something, do it immediately. You want to do something good, do it immediately, because you don't know exactly what happens right now in the spiritual world. We are so disconnected. Something good wants to come. It's coming your way. You feel like putting a tzedakah. I have a cent. I want to put it right away in tzedakah. Because you don't know what exactly happens now spiritually. This is the opportunity. This will teach you a lesson to appreciate the moment. Do the mitzvah. And that's what we say, Haba li'adcha mitzvah. If a mitzvah comes your way, al tachmitzena. Don't miss your mitzvah. You do it right now. Because you're never going to know what's going to happen. When the time is right, you do it. So how do I know if the right time is to do the mitzvah? Because the mitzvah, the opportunity came right now. And we know it where? We know it from Yetziat Mitzrayim. HaKadosh Baruch Hu took us out of Mitzrayim exactly when it was the appropriate time. Not before, not later. Exactly when it was the appropriate time. So learn from that to appreciate the moment. Don't procrastinate. Don't leave things behind. Don't doubt it. Okay, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it this. I'll do it early. I'll be too eager. Everything is calculated. Everything is calculated. You're sleeping again. Why don't you go for a walk, Mike? Walk. Okay? That's the time to do it. Right now you're learning. So that's the only thing you should be concerned about. HaKadosh Baruch Hu did whatever He did for you to come and learn. You don't think about anything else. The world does not exist beyond the door of this place. That's it. That's all you have to worry about. Now your tests, this is your test. Not your parnasah, because this is dependent on. Nothing. You feel like doing something good? Do it. Because another thing is that you don't know if you're ever in your life going to get a chance to do it. There is no guarantee you're going to live more than what you're living right now. You don't know. And maybe that's exactly what you needed to tip it in your favor. And when you come, you feel this desire to make tshuva. I want to be better. I want to be better. I want to do more. This is like a korban. I want to feel closer. That is the feeling. Kadosh Baruch Hu maybe took the physical korban, but He gave us a spiritual ability to do the same thing. He will not leave us out of the open without any ability whatsoever to do what we need to do. Otherwise, it's not fair. So He just simply substituted one tool with another tool. The point of doing that is because when you had Beit HaMikdash, we thought that the korban itself, the lamb, is the one who does the job. I don't have to do anything. I'll just bring a shish kebab over there, we'll do shawarma, then we'll do it. Like Kadosh Baruch Hu said, listen, you're missing the point. You're missing the point. It's not about the lamb. It's about what goes in your head. It's about the closeness to you feel. You don't understand this? Fine, not a problem. I'll take it away from you. Now you concentrate on what you really need to do. It's like, for example, I will give you a computer with an internet. Why? Because you asked me to give you a computer with an internet. Why? Because you need to do some research job, not to look at Wikipedia, Right? You need to do some serious search to write an essay for school. Okay, your professor asks you to write you an essay for school. So you need to do this thing. So I said, you're fine, not a problem, my dear son. Here you go. Take the checkbook, get yourself a computer, get yourself an internet. What do you want? 4G network. You get 5G. No problem. Whatever you want. So now you got this mega computer with high-fast internet connection, fiber optic, gelatin capsuled, turbo V8. Okay? And I come back and I say, what are you doing? Well, I'm playing Call of Duty in 16. Yeah, I'm shooting. So 1 second, I didn't buy you for this. Well, it was right there. It was a pop-up. But my dear, I didn't pay all this money for this. I paid it for you to do your work. Well, I need some time to relax myself, to relieve myself. Not a problem. I got the idea. Guess what? Give me the computer. I'll show you how to do it. Give me the computer. Thank you very much. I'll take it home. Internet. Take off the internet. Oh, I did the research. Good. Go to the library. Now, there's no computer. I gotta go to the library. Because what you were supposed to do, you were supposed to do research. You were not supposed to have a computer and play with it. Or listen to, I don't know, Spotify on YouTube and looking for all these things that you don't need to look at. Because you were supposed to do your work. And because your work needs to be done, and we learn it from the halakha, a certain amount by a certain amount of time. Achila, you need to eat. So you have to eat what is considered to be achila, eating in halachic terms. Kazait b'chda achilat hapras, a volume of 28 grams within a period of anywhere between, let's say, 3 to 7 minutes. That's considered to be eating. So here too, you have a chance to do your work. Right now, you need to go to school. That's where you do your work. You don't worry about anything else. What's your job? Go to school? Good. That's what you need to do. That's your work. Right now, you're here, supposed to learn. You're not thinking about anything else. Right? Because right now, if this is what you need to do, and right now you're doing a mitzvah because you really feel close to it, you really want to learn, and you felt this desire to come and learn. Kadosh Baruch Hu says, that's my korban. That's my korban. He wants to feel close to me. So maybe you are here, but in the spiritual world, you are right now in Beit HaMikdash, in the Holy Temple. And the time and the effort and the desire that you had inside of you is the korban, the most beautiful, perfect lamb in which you're going to bring as a sacrifice. And guess what? You are the Kohen, you are the priest. But you know that when the priest thinks about anything else besides the korban, it becomes pigul. It means you take it, you throw it away, and it desecrated the holy. So when you are here, and you're doing anything else besides learning, right now you are Kohen. Imagine this, you are Kohen in Beit HaMikdash, in the Holy Temple, dressed up in this white clothing, coming to the Mizbeach, about to make the fire, and all of a sudden it says, wait, one second. Where are you going? Korban, Shechting, Mizbeach. No, please, Bechavod. We just saw, we had a thermal imaging of your brain. Certain part of your brain that was lit was not associated with spiritual activity. It was more like on the physical activity, if you know what I mean. Guess what? Out. Security, escort him out. What an embarrassment. But you think it doesn't happen? It's exactly what happens. I love this. Excuse me, Rabbi, where are you going? I gotta go. Where are you going? Wait a minute. You're in the middle. If you're in the middle of class and the professor, you would get up and go. You got it all wrong. You be working somewhere 9 to 5. You tell your boss, excuse me, the boss, where are you going? Excuse me, boss, I gotta go to. He says, okay, go out and don't come back. Only when it comes to Torah. And you know what comes out from this? It comes out for this, what we call Avodah Zarah, idol worshiping. What do I mean? There was a interesting case, and I read it, and I'm going to share it with you today, in Mitzrayim, when they call upon HaKadosh Baruch Hu. It says, God, help us! We can't take this work anymore. Help us! This is beyond Vayitzaku el Hashem mi'avodah kasha, from great work, great labor. The question is, what the heck is wrong with them? Mi'avodah kasha? From hard work? What are you guys, are crazy? They were killing your children. Why didn't they cry? HaKadosh Baruch Hu, they're killing our children here. We are going to be lost here in this galut, in this exile they were here. You didn't care about anything about your work. You didn't care about your children. It's a tremendous question, isn't it? And you come to think that maybe they are crazy, right? If Chaz v'Shalom, anybody's kids will be suffering, won't you cry to Hashem, take everything, leave me my child? He didn't say that. What did they say? It's too much trabajo. Mucho trabajo, poco dinero. On that question, it says, it's brought by Rabbi Gedaliah Silverstone, which is the rabbi of Washington. He says like this, it's a remez for the Torah, from the Torah, how from the great avodat parech, from the slave labor, avodat parech is not appropriately translated into English. Avodat parech is translated into English as slave work, but it's not. Avodat parech is crumbling work. Lifroch is to crumble. Avodat parech, according to many Mefarshim, was not that it was just hard, but they crumbled their personality of who they were, the dignity. They gave men women's work, and they gave women men's work. Okay, so that I understand. If they gave women men's work, I hear you. It's physically challenging. It's biologically they're different. If they imagine a woman schlepping a refrigerator on her back, going up and down the pyramids. It's a little difficult. Moshe's. Instead of Moshe's, it's going to be Sarah's schleppings. It's a little difficult. But what's the big problem if they give a man? Need some socks and do the dishes and clean the house, put an apron on. That's exactly the point. They destroy the dignity as a human being, as a person. And that's exactly what happened here. Bnei Israel, he writes, Bnei Israel fell even from below the level of regular people. Bnei Enosh, they went below a level of a human being. What he's writing is harsh. I'll show you. To the point that even their love to the children was lost. Does an animal have mercy on his children, on his pups, for example? If you have a lion cub, that the lion protects the cub once he gets a little older? No, sometimes they will eat it too. So they lost even the concern about the children. Why? Because Chazal said, "Vayamet Melech Mitzrayim," and the king of Egypt died. Sheparo nitztara. Paro had leprosy, vaya shochet, and he used to slaughter 103 Jewish babies every single day, and he used to bathe in their blood. And it says, "V'hine here, af be'et shechatfu et hatinokot mi'imei emotehem." Here they would grab the children from the bosoms of their mothers, and they slaughtered them for Paro. Still, when one person spoke to his friend, he says, "What's the matter with you? Why you look so down today?" His answer is, "Man, I'm working so hard all day long. Chomer, levenim, bricks, carry on my back. I can't do this, I can't take this. I don't see any end with this. The Nevi even mentioned, his children were just slaughtered for Paro. In other words, work was all his life. He says, Kol kach ka'ur rshotehem mikoshi avodah. Their feelings, their emotions got so numb by the hard labor that crumbled them, not only physically, but spiritually as well, that even when they cried to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, they did not mention the slaughtering of their children. Elarak vayizaku, and they called Hashem. They cried to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, v'akatuv meid ki lamrot zot, and even though the pasuk says, v'tal zakatam el Hashem, to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, right, mina avodah. He says, okay, HaKadosh even heard that. HaKadosh Baruch Hu even heard that. And he writes the following, Af bizmanenu, even in our time, you can find many Jews that the greatest concern is to the work. And their cry of work is mentioned and is heard. But yet those people fail to cry or to mention their children, that yet the bodies, Baruch Hashem, are not being slaughtered, but the spirit was. The spirit of many Jewish kids is being slaughtered, that even while they're alive here today, in this wonderful country of America, they cannot even recite Shema Yisrael appropriately. How many Jewish kids are out there that they cannot recite Shema Yisrael? That is a terrible thing, and yet you don't seem to see those parents being very concerned with that. The rates of intermarriage kills the Jews here. It's a Holocaust in happening, the intermarriage in which Jews go through. And yet, you hear the parents, as long as they're nice people, I don't really care. But you're losing your child. In other words, you're going to be the less of the Mohicans. You're going to be the less of the Jews. After you, there are not going to be any more Jews. And it says, this is also a decree of exile. And this is the real destruction. Beit HaMikdash, the temple, we can build. I'll tell you what, even resurrecting the dead is something that could happen. It will happen. But you cannot resurrect those who were not born. They're just not going to be any more Jews. So we need to remember, why are you here? And what is the reason that we do what we do? And you need to set your priorities appropriately. You align yourself with what God wants from you. And what important is your children, your families, the traditions. That's why we are very big on traditions. That's why even if people have weird customs in Pesach, one should not make fun of them, whether they make sense to you or they don't make sense to you. That's not important. Your sense does not make us any difference. What is important is there is a tradition that we move and we bring it over, and we are connecting these chains. There's an unbroken chain in order to have the unbroken melody. And this, it's a job. It's a torch that we were handing to give on, to pass on. It's not, Judaism is not just a lifestyle. It's a torch. And you need to be able to do whatever you can in your power to maintain it, to take care of it. And there's going to be not only somebody to pass it on, you need to prepare the other people to hand it over to them. As you see, when they do this, when they run in the Olympics, right? the other person starts running, so they'll be together running. It won't stop and the other one starts. It's going to be broken. It's going to be an unbroken harmony. So basically from the moment the guy ran until the end, the fourth person is crossing the line, it's an ongoing race. There's not a moment of stop. They're running, and then they pick up the pace and go. So when you hear, you learn. And when you're out there, you need to learn also. Aim it towards learning. Because that's what's important. It's important to get closer to Hashem. That's why the Bet HaMikdash is not important if you look at the real thing. What's important is Am Yisrael. What is important is our relationship with Am Yisrael, with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. How do we relate to each other? Do we want to be close to Hashem, or are we just doing it because it's convenient to us? And these are the most important things. When you do that, your action will be fragrant to Hashem as if you brought a korban. Because in all your action, you will seek closeness to Hashem. B'chol derachecha derech. In all your actions, in all your efforts, are all geared towards Hashem, because everything is to bring you closer to God. Now you need to examine your actions. Are my actions really geared towards God or to me? This is how you evaluate. This is how everything you do could become Torah. This is how your life will be life of Torah. Is everything that I do will be of something that HaKadosh Baruch Hu will be proud of? My seeking is closeness, or only when it's convenient to me. Oh God, please send me this. Where were you all year long? Why, when you could do something, you didn't do it? Now you're going to tell me you're really looking for me? Now you're going to tell me you really want me? When you had a chance to do that, when you had the power and you had the ability and you were young, why didn't you do this? Because you didn't really want to do it. So you're a hypocrite. And you live your life in such a way. And the more you live your life like this, the more you need to do to subdue that feeling, because you can't live with the feeling that you are fake. So stop with this game. There is a mitzvah in front of you. Do it, and do it now. Appreciate what you have. See the blessing in what you have. Seek Hashem in all your actions. Even if it's cleaning on your knees for Pesach, look at this as an act of love. You're not looking for chametz. You're looking for Hashem. You can find God on your floor cleaning the floor. That will be an act of closeness to God. You're not doing it because you have to. You're doing it because you want to. And so it's cooking for Shabbat. And so it's everything that you do. Everything you do, it's lichvotcha. It's for you, Hashem. It's not for me. It's for you. And thank you for the opportunity that you gave me to look for you. Hashem went away, so-called, from our existence, in terms of the galut, so we can look for Him. Because if we look for Him, we're going to miss Him. If we're going to miss Him, we're going to try to find Him. And when we'll find Him, when we'll try to find Him, we will find Him. We'll learn to appreciate. So don't give up. Whatever you do, don't give up. As long as you have the power, use it, and use it well. And b'zchut zeh, Kadosh Baruch Hu will have mercy on us and will show us His glory soon. Amen. Ken Yeh Ratzon.